If the 4.5 billion year history of the Earth were compressed into a single day, at what moment would life appear? And how long would humanity have existed? At midnight, a new star is born. We call this star the Sun. Clouds of dust and gas orbit around it. These are the remnants of an ancient giant star that died long ago. Inside the gas cloud, dust gathers and continuously grows. Eventually, this amorphous mass becomes a planet, our Earth. At that time, it takes only 6 hours for the Earth to complete one rotation. At 12:40 a.m. of this day, a celestial body approaches Earth. It is not an asteroid, but another planet, Theia. It is about the size of present-day Mars. Over millions of real years, their orbits grow closer. Theia eventually collides with Earth, completely shattering itself. Its molten fragments merge with Earth's magma, forming a new celestial body over the following centuries, the Moon. By 1:13 a.m., the earliest oceans can be seen. As the Earth cools, water vapor released by volcanoes condenses. The first rain begins to fall, and bodies of water appear on the planet's surface. At first, they are just small puddles that quickly evaporate, but soon after, the bodies of water become larger and more stable. The Earth is still very hot at this point, and water can barely remain in a liquid state, with temperatures ranging between 40 and 85 degrees Celsius. In many areas, there are boiling lakes. This water comes from rain, as well as from the degassing of the Earth's interior through volcanic activity. Space also plays a massive role, as ice-bearing asteroids and comets continuously bombard the Earth. This process is continuous even as you watch this video. Today, about 60 to 100 tons of cosmic material fall to Earth every day. By 1:52 a.m., scorching streams containing volcanic mixtures surge from the depths of the Earth into the water. Under immense pressure, these environments act as natural chemical laboratories, randomly rearranging various molecular combinations until the first organic molecules are synthesized. Amino acids, RNA, and proteins subsequently begin to form. Over time, the primordial soup becomes saturated and self-replicating structures emerge. At 4:30 a.m., the first fully formed cell appears, marking the true dawn of life on this planet. At 5:53 a.m., the first viruses appear. At almost the same time, the Earth's core separates into two layers, a solid inner core and a liquid outer core. Liquid metal rotates around the inner core, generating a magnetic field and ultimately forming the magnetosphere. The magnetic poles will shift every 200,000 to 300,000 years, equivalent to 5 to 6 seconds on this 24-hour clock. About 5 hours later, at 11:13 a.m., primitive prokaryotes are already creating the simplest ecosystems, seeking efficient ways to harvest energy. These organisms are very simple, like small houses without partitions. When one type of prokaryote, cyanobacteria, begins to photosynthesize, they learn to use sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into food, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. This process transforms the Earth's atmosphere. At 11:35 a.m., the great oxidation event strikes the planet. Cyanobacteria release so much oxygen in a short period that it cannot react quickly enough with substances in the atmosphere and water, accumulating instead as a free gas for most living organisms at the time. This is a deadly poison. However, by this time, bacterial communities capable of using oxygen for energy have emerged. They live in rare pockets of oxygen and begin to spread across the entire planet.
At 1:39 p.m., life transitions to an oxygen-based method of obtaining energy. Meanwhile, life begins to take on new forms. One cell engulfs another. The engulfed cell adapts to its environment and starts performing useful functions. This is known as endosymbiosis. It leads to the emergence of a new type of cell, eukaryotes. The difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is massive. Prokaryotes are like an open-plan studio where everything is in one room, while eukaryotes are like a large house with separate rooms. Eukaryotic cells have a nucleus, a dedicated room for storing and processing genetic information. They also have mitochondria, which act like power plants, along with other organelles that each perform specific functions. By 3:43 p.m., cells have started to group together, forming primitive multicellular life. Just 2 hours later, at 5:47 p.m., fully developed multicellular life has formed. The first organism to reproduce sexually, algae, appears. By this time, the earliest fungi have also emerged. And something unexpected is about to happen to the Earth. At 8:38 p.m., due to shifts in greenhouse gases and ocean currents, the climate changes abruptly, leading to the Marinoan glaciation, also known as the Snowball Earth event. The planet is covered by ice sheets several kilometers thick, and temperatures plummet to -50 degrees Celsius. Most life forms go extinct, with only organisms in hydrothermal vents and ice crevices surviving.
At 8:43 p.m., continuous volcanic activity melts the glaciers on land and in the oceans, and surviving organisms occupy new ecological niches. At 9:02 p.m., the Avalon explosion begins. A massive burst of life. The Eocharan biota appears. These are the first complex multicellular organisms. Most of them are soft-bodied and radially symmetrical, with some reaching dozens of centimeters in length. Unlike earlier, simpler multicellular forms, the Eocharan biota exhibits unprecedented diversity in form, structure, and lifestyle. At 9:12 p.m., the Cambrian explosion arrives. Life becomes even more complex, marking the appearance of the first organisms with hard body parts. Nature begins to experiment with different forms and functions. Among the earliest creatures are trilobites, arthropods with hard exoskeletons that rapidly spread throughout the oceans. The ancestors of all vertebrates also begin to appear, such as Mylocunmingia, an organism with a primitive backbone. Bizarre life forms also emerge, like the spiky Hallucigenia and the plate-covered Wiwaxia. By 9:27 p.m., the Cambrian explosion ends. Around 9:34 p.m., plants appear on land. They are still simple life forms, similar to moss. lacking roots and absorbing water from the environment through their entire bodies. Once plants take root on land, they begin to transform the earth itself. They produce oxygen, laying the foundation for new ecosystems. These initial plants not only stabilize the soil, but also create habitats for the first land animals. At 9:40 p.m., the first animals begin to migrate to land. These early settlers are arthropods, the direct ancestors of modern insects, spiders, and centipedes. As plants begin to cover moist coastal areas, animals follow in search of food and new habitats.
At 9:50 p.m., the age of fishes, the Devonian period, begins. The waters are bustling with a wide variety of species. From jawless fishes to large predators like sharks and placoderms. Lobe-finned fishes undergo significant changes during this time. One of them, Tiktaalik, uses its fins to navigate shallow waters almost like limbs, looking as if it is on the verge of a major evolutionary leap. At 10:05 p.m., the leap finally happens. In a remarkable event, the first amphibians emerge from the water and step onto land. These creatures are descendants of lobe-finned fishes, having evolved primitive limbs that allow them to move on land. Ichthyostega and Acanthostega are famous representatives of this period. They have simple legs, but retain fins and lateral lines to sense vibrations in the water. Although they still depend on water for reproduction and moisture, they are now able to hunt and live on land. At 10:16 p.m., the continents converge to form a supercontinent, Pangaea. These collisions result in the formation of mountain ranges, and the climate changes accordingly. The interior regions of the continent become arid, while the coastlines become tropical. By 10:20 p.m., the first reptiles appear on land. These descendants of amphibians have developed traits that allow them to be completely independent of water bodies and expand their habitats. For now, these creatures are still small and inconspicuous. It is now 10:48 p.m., and we are in the Triassic period. Some reptiles have evolved into the first dinosaurs. These creatures are still small, resembling large lizards. But they possess some distinct evolutionary details. The key difference is their upright posture. Unlike most reptiles of the time, dinosaurs walk with their legs positioned directly under their bodies rather than sprawling out to the sides. This trait makes them faster and more agile. Next, dinosaurs diverge into two main branches. One is the Saurischia, which includes predators like Tyrannosaurus rex and herbivores like Diplodocus. The other is the Ornithischia, which later evolves into giant herbivores like Triceratops and Stegosaurus. There are no carnivorous dinosaurs within the Ornithischia branch. By 11:13 p.m., the descendants of some small predatory dinosaurs, such as the Troodontids, become the first feathered theropod dinosaurs. As one of the transitional species between reptiles and birds, Archaeopteryx combines dinosaur features like teeth and a bony tail with the ability for short-distance flight. Over time, their wings grow longer and their bodies become more streamlined. Take Confuciornis, for instance. It has a short tail and a beak, making it one of the earliest true birds. What many people don't know is that modern birds evolved directly from dinosaurs. At 11:16 p.m., a true revolution begins in the plant kingdom. The first flowering plants appear on Earth.
Before this, the Earth was dominated by ferns, conifers, and cycads, which reproduced via spores or naked seeds. Now equipped with flowers and fruits, flowering plants gain a significant evolutionary advantage. As complex structures, flowering plants can attract pollinators. This partnership between plants and pollinators proves extremely successful. The planet is now flourishing, with both the oceans and the land teeming with life. There seems to be no sign of any impending disaster. However, at 11:39 p.m., a massive asteroid appears, approximately 10 kilometers in diameter. It strikes the Earth at a speed of 12 kilometers per second, near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula. The fireball from the impact instantly vaporizes everything within a 1,000-kilometer radius, creating a crater about 200 kilometers wide and several kilometers deep. A colossal cloud of dust and debris envelops the planet, plunging it into darkness. The sky darkens, and the dust blocks the sunlight. Temperatures on Earth soar, and furious firestorms sweep across the land. Forests burn, destroying ecosystems. The oceans boil, and animals die from the intense heat and lack of oxygen. Shortly thereafter, due to the reduced sunlight reaching the planet's surface, temperatures plummet, leading to global cooling. Photosynthesis halts in the darkness, and entire ecosystems collapse. The dinosaurs go extinct due to cold and starvation. The climate becomes harsh, with storms, tsunamis, earthquakes, and wildfires ravaging the planet. It is only years later that the dust begins to settle. Sunlight once again reaches the Earth's surface, and the climate starts to recover. Under the faint sunlight, an apocalyptic scene is revealed. Up to 75% of biological species have completely vanished, gone forever. Those that survive desperately adapt to the new conditions. After this catastrophic extinction, as ecological niches empty out, life on Earth begins to recover, and temperatures return to normal. This is the era of the rise of mammals. Mammals, which were previously small and mostly nocturnal, now occupy the vacant ecological niches and evolve rapidly. Their warm-bloodedness, live births, and fur quickly make them the dominant species. Some mammals stay on land. Some return to the water, and others settle in the trees. Among them, some unique branches emerge.
By 11:40 p.m., small animals similar to modern lemurs can be observed. They are nocturnal creatures, foraging in the trees and avoiding predators on the ground. These are the early primates. Adaptiforms are among the first to be classified as primates. They develop key traits. Vision becomes their primary sense. They have flexible fingers and limbs for climbing, and an enlarged brain to manage visual processing and coordination. At 11:49 p.m., the first catarrhines appear. By 11:58 p.m., legendary events are about to unfold on the African continent. Dense forests transform into sparse savannas, forcing primates down from the trees to adapt to life on the ground. This leads to the emergence of Sahelanthropus chadensis, one of the earliest members of the hominid family. They can walk steadily on two legs while retaining some ape-like features. Bipedalism is not just an evolutionary trick, it also promotes the development of intelligence, as the freed forelimbs become incredibly useful for tool use and other tasks. After 11:59 p.m. and 13
13 seconds, in the very last minute of this historical day, Homo habilis appears. Homo habilis has a relatively large brain, about 600 to 750 cubic centimeters, but their body structure remains quite primitive, with long arms and a small body. At the 24th second of the last minute, Homo erectus emerges. They possess an even larger brain capacity, reaching 850 to 1,100 cubic centimeters. Homo erectus is fully adapted to a bipedal lifestyle and has more proportionate limbs. Homo erectus takes a decisive step by leaving Africa and spreading to Asia and Europe, and they are already attempting to master the use of fire. At the 48th second of the last minute, Homo heidelbergensis appears, possessing an even larger brain. These beings can proficiently use fire and build shelters. They use wooden spears and stone tools to hunt large animals like mammoths and rhinoceroses,
which requires collective effort and planning. 2 seconds later, Neanderthals appear. Their brains are even larger, at 1,200 to 1,750 cubic centimeters. They are excellent hunters and have highly developed social structures. Neanderthals care for the sick and elderly, bury their dead, and hold rituals. They have also developed rudimentary language. At the 54th second, Homo sapiens appears. Like the Neanderthals, they are also descendants of Homo heidelbergensis. At this moment, all three human species coexist on Earth. Homo heidelbergensis in Africa, Europe, and Western Asia, Neanderthals in Europe and the Middle East, and Homo sapiens in Africa. 2 seconds later, Homo heidelbergensis disappears. Unable to adapt to the changing environment, some of them are assimilated and merge into the new human species. At the 58th second, the first anatomically modern humans, early modern Homo sapiens, appear. They almost immediately begin migrating out of Africa, settling on other continents. In the final second, the Neanderthals also go extinct. Due to interbreeding between species, a portion of their DNA remains in modern humans. Fractions of a second later, humans survive the last ice age. The climate becomes more stable and conducive to agriculture and the domestication of animals. Moving through the Neolithic period, humans develop agriculture and transition to a settled way of life. The population begins to grow, division of labor and social hierarchies emerge, and technology begins to advance rapidly. At 95 milliseconds to midnight, the pyramids of Giza are built. A moment later, the first commercially successful steam engine is created. 5 milliseconds after that, ARPANET, the precursor to the Internet, is developed. And now, we are in the era of the Internet and artificial intelligence, complete with this video you are watching and sharing. All of our civilization and achievements are condensed into this fleeting 0.1 second instant.